He hired her to clean his mansion, until he caught her studying by flashlight at 2 a.m., and what he discovered next would change both their lives forever. The estate was silent at night. All the house staff had gone home. The lights were out. The marble floors gleamed under the moonlight pouring through tall windows. Sebastian Cole, 38, billionaire tech mogul and owner of one of the most opulent homes in San Diego, rarely walked his mansion after midnight. But tonight, sleep wouldn't come. He wandered downstairs for tea when he saw it. A faint light flickering from the back hallway. Not the cleaning lights. A flashlight. He followed it quietly. It was coming from the laundry room. He opened the door slowly, and there she was, Rosa, his 22-year-old housemaid, sitting on the cold floor beside the dryer with a thick book on her lap, highlighter in hand, flashlight clenched between her teeth. She didn't see him at first. She was too focused, murmuring equations, flipping pages like the world depended on it. Sebastian stared, stunned. She was supposed to have left hours ago. "Rosa?" he said gently. She jumped, the flashlight dropping with a clatter. "Sir, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just—" "What are you doing?" he asked, genuinely curious. She scrambled to close the book. "Nothing. Just some old study notes." But Sebastian stepped forward and picked up the book. It wasn't just any book. It was a mechanical engineering textbook filled with handwritten notes, color-coded tabs, and sketches more detailed than what most of his own interns could manage. "You're studying this?" She looked down, embarrassed. "I clean houses during the day, study at night. I'm saving to re-enroll at the university. I had to drop out after my dad passed, but I'm trying." Sebastian stared at her. This quiet girl who cleaned his floors by day and chased her dreams in secret by night. He felt something in his chest. He hadn't felt in years. Inspiration. And he knew, in that moment, he wasn't going to let her keep doing this alone. The next morning, Rosa walked into the mansion with her head low, expecting to be reprimanded, or worse, fired, for being caught studying on the job. But instead, Sebastian was waiting in the foyer, coffee in hand, eyes calm but serious. "Rosa, we need to talk." She froze. "Sir, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have stayed." "Stop," he said gently. "You weren't doing anything wrong. You were doing something most people wouldn't even try after working 12 hours straight." She blinked, confused. "Come with me," he said. He led her past the drawing room, past the kitchen into his home office, where a laptop and stack of scholarship brochures were waiting on the desk. "I did some reading last night," he began. "Your notes, your sketches. Rosa, they're better than half the applications we get at my company." She swallowed hard. I've been teaching myself from YouTube and free online classes." "And it shows," he said. "But I want to do more than be impressed. I want to help." She stepped back. "I didn't ask for help." "I know, and that's exactly why I'm offering it." Sebastian slid a printed document across the desk. "This is an internship offer. Paid. Flexible hours? At my company's research lab." Rosa's eyes widened. "What?" "You'll work under one of our lead engineers. You'll have access to resources, mentorship, and I'll cover the rest of your tuition, fully, if you agree to go back to school." She shook her head slowly, overwhelmed. "Why would you do this for me?" He smiled. "Because you reminded me why I started in the first place, not for the money, not for the boardrooms, but for people who build from nothing. People like you." Tears brimmed in Rosa's eyes. I don't know what to say." "Say yes," Sebastian said quietly, "and prove to the world what I already know, that you were never just the maid he stood. You're the engineer who's about to build her own future." Rosa's first day at the company felt surreal. Gone were the cleaning supplies and the uniform. She wore a simple white blouse, jeans, and a nervous smile as she walked into the sleek glass building that housed Cole Innovations' R&D lab, a place she never imagined she'd enter as anything but a janitor. The staff greeted her with confusion at first. "She's the maid, right?" someone whispered. But Rosa didn't flinch. She had spent years being invisible. Now she was going to earn their attention. By the end of her first week, Rosa had already solved a coding bug on a prototype Sebastian's engineers had struggled with for days. Her diagrams were clean, her thought process methodical, and her questions so sharp that even the lead engineer, Mara Green, took notice. "Where did you study again?" Mara asked one afternoon. "Technically, I didn't. I dropped out before I could finish my first year." "Then you're the smartest dropout I've ever met." Mara requested Rosa be moved to her team full-time. Sebastian watched all of this unfold from a distance, not stepping in, not interfering, just observing the way Rosa bloomed when she was finally given the soil she deserved. But success didn't erase her humility. Every evening, Rosa still stopped by the mansion, not to clean, but to visit Leo, the young housekeeper's son she had once helped with homework. She brought food to the kitchen staff. She helped the new maids with English when they struggled. One evening, Sebastian caught her wiping down the kitchen counter out of habit. "Rosa," he chuckled, "you do realize you don't work here anymore?" She smiled shyly. "Some habits are hard to break." He leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "You're changing everything, you know." "I'm just doing what I was always meant to do," she replied. Sebastian nodded slowly, but deep down, he knew. She wasn't just building machines anymore. She was rebuilding his entire perspective on what potential truly looks like. 1 year later, Rosa stood at the front of a crowded auditorium, wearing a crisp blazer and holding a small remote. Behind her, a massive screen lit up with blueprints, 3D models, and prototype footage of a portable water purifying device. Affordable, sustainable, and capable of serving communities without access to clean water. And the idea? It had started on the back of a laundry receipt, scribbled late at night in the corner of Sebastian's laundry room, when she was still just the maid. Now it had the full funding of Cole Innovations. The audience erupted into applause. Rosa smiled, blinking back tears, and looked towards the front row, where Sebastian sat, clapping with quiet pride, next to Mara and the very engineers who once doubted her. After the presentation, reporters gathered. "What's it like going from cleaning houses to leading projects at one of the world's top firms?" Rosa smiled softly. "Humbling," she said. "But I was never just a maid. I was always more. I just needed someone to see it." That night, back at the mansion, the kitchen was warm with food and laughter. Rosa sat at the long dining table, surrounded by the same staff she used to work beside. Except now, they didn't serve her. They celebrated her. Sebastian stood, raising a glass. "To Rosa," he said, "the woman who reminded me that greatness doesn't start with opportunity, it starts with fire. And no title, no background, no bank account can dim that kind of flame." She smiled, raising her glass in return. To second chances, and the people brave enough to offer them. Months later, Rosa launched her own nonprofit to fund education and tech training for domestic workers across the country. And Sebastian? He remained at her side, not as a savior, but as a friend, a mentor, and quietly, something deeper still. Because in giving her a future, he had rediscovered his own humanity. And together, they proved one thing. You can change the world, even with a broom in one hand and a dream in the other.